been a while since we'd done a video like this on the channel where you get to see my hands and a physical thing. Done a lot of voiceover sort of videos, audio only videos, with the episode reactions and the Big Finish videos and stuff, which are a lot quicker to do, obviously. But I felt it was time for a video like this. The big reason I haven't done one of these sorts of videos recently is just trying to find the time. I've been working a lot, and also the lighting, because I just use sort of natural light. I'm right by a big window, and obviously we're now into winter, so it's not as bright. It's a fairly dull day today, so the lighting is not as bright as I would love it, but it's you can see it. But yeah, I did have a video like this filmed, but I wasn't happy with it, so I think I'm going to do it again. I'll probably release that in the new year sometime. I don't know when this video will be out either, because I'm filming it on the 20th of December, but then I'm working a lot over the Christmas period, so this may only be out in the new year, but we'll see. I'm going to try and get it out at some point in December. But anyway, enough preamble. This is called Impossible Worlds, a 50-year treasury of art and design by Stephen Nicholas and Mike Tucker. And essentially what this is, it's a couple of years old. It says 50-year treasury. It's not a 50th anniversary release though, because it's got stuff in here from like 2014 and 2015. But I think it's only 2015 it goes up to. And it might look like, oh, this is a nice picture of the 11th Doctor's TARDIS, but if you open it up, you see here, this is a concept art book. So some lovely visuals in here. Yes, see, look at this beautiful artwork, the Shadow Proclamation there. It is raining a little bit, by the way, so hopefully you can't hear that too much, but if you can, I apologise a little bit. Got some Daleks there. The progenitor, you can just about see a paradigm Dalek coming out there. So your contents, you got introduction, big on the inside, which is obviously about the TARDIS, concept art for the TARDIS. You got your Daleks, Cybermen, Santarans, basically other monsters, I think, like tools, song screwdrivers and stuff, and then planets, stuff like that. I think is the idea. So this is your introduction. Obviously I'm not going to read all that out to you, but this is TVC housed 8 studios, and Doctor Who was recorded here on videotape in a shooting style known as multi-camera. If you don't know the difference between multi-camera and single camera, a lot of sitcoms, not so much these days I don't think, but certainly in the 60s, 70s, 80s I think, were filmed in multi-camera, which essentially means that you have a set, you have 3 or 4 different cameras set up, all recording at the same time, you just run the thing through as if it's a play, and you get all your different angles from your different cameras. And a lot of sitcoms and dramas and stuff were recorded that way, Doctor Who included. Nowadays, everything is a lot more single camera, which is, as the name suggests, it's just the one camera. You do lots of different takes from different angles, so the process is longer, but the quality of the thing is better. It's more polished, and it allows you to be more creative in the way you film certain things. It allows you to get the camera into certain things. You can get in closer, you can get shots of specific things. And I think basically everything is single camera now. Multi-camera is a thing of the past, really. But yeah, certainly very early Doctor Who, and really the majority of Doctor Who in its original run is multi-camera, with a couple of exceptions. Can you tell I studied film? Got some other little photos here. This is a lovely photo of the TARDIS with its top off. That sounded stranger when I said it out loud. I got this TARDIS here, the 2005 TARDIS. So that's your introduction, and then here, bigger on the inside. So this is the TARDIS. So a bit more of an introduction here about the TARDIS. Lots of information, which is all very interesting. I'm fairly sure I've read this book basically cover to cover, but what we're here for is the pictures, the art itself. You've got your different, see, evolution of the console room, so I think that was probably the most recent, maybe, at that point. Yeah, so here we are. Let's start getting to the art. So these are initial sketches for the 2005, yeah, see, Series 1, Episode 1, Rose, and you can see that they really wanted it to be a lot bigger. If you look at the scale in terms of that being a person, they wanted it to be massive, and they just didn't have the budget, I don't think, at all. Of course now they do have the budget, and we've got the biggest TARDIS we've ever had, which I think is cool. That TARDIS is growing on me, but it is a bit empty. And here you see some more close-up sketches of the TARDIS console itself. Again, more sketches there. It's like a visual model, and you can see it in the process of being built there. Then we get on to the Matt Smith console. These look very familiar to what we ended up getting, but you can see here that almost wasn't what we got at all, if I recall from this book. But the one thing they talked about was it being a lot digital. Yeah. If I try and get this, the futuristic ideas for the new console started to become real as Matt Savage, he's a concept artist, developed his versions of the prop, and it became, they looked at it being very digital, and like touchpads and stuff on the console, it would have been very, very different. And of course that's not what we got at all, and I think I prefer what we did get. So here's some more sort of sketches and designs for the console, looking a lot closer to what we got. But you can see here there was a lot of this idea of the sections being removable, which I'm not sure how I feel about that aspect of it. You've got some designs here, different designs, and you can see these look quite similar in a way to now. Where is it? There's a design in here. It might be this one, it might be a different one. Yeah, I think it's this one. This is the idea of there being two TARDIS doors, and they would both take you out the main TARDIS doors, but that just seems very odd to me. It doesn't make much sense. With very interesting designs. And then of course you get this, which you've seen already, which is basically how it ended up looking in reality. I really like that TARDIS. It's a lot of fun, I think. I don't think it's my favourite design, but if I was going to travel in the TARDIS, I think I'd want to travel in that one. Looks the most fun. Then you get some designs for the corridor, the TARDIS corridor. And then this is for the 2013 redesign. This stuff here. Yeah, and you can see designs there, and this is like a scale model. Seems a lot lower than we originally got. They got a bit more height in the actual set. Yeah, and then you move on to other spaceships and stuff. So this is from the Space Pirates. You've got what have we got here? This is a shuttle from the Invisible Enemy. And I think this, these here, and I think this is also from the Invisible Enemy, a story I've not seen. You've got some other stuff. That's the Jakaroth ship from City of Death. That's your Cyberman shuttle from Silver Nemesis. Different concepts and stuff. And then some more slightly modern concept art. You've got the game station, and you've got the Titanic, the Jatoon ship. You've got the SS Madame de Pompadour and the Byzantium. These are from the Impossible Planet. The shuttle's there. And
okay.
From the Impossible Planet here, and then this is the SS Pentalion from 42. We've got some other different concepts for the Valiant there, concepts for the Pyroval escape pod, Starship UK. This one up here is a really weird, interesting design. I don't think it works, but it's interesting to see. Got the Slitheen ship up there, is Sycorax ships, which the Sycorax ship is actually based on, and it says it here, Ed Thomas was not happy with the design of the Sycorax ship, but while in Mauritius on holiday, he saw a shell on the beach that looked exactly as he wanted the ship to appear. Working from the shell, Matt Savage created this full colour render. So yeah, it's basically it's a shell, it's a seashell that's designed as a big ship, but it's just a shell. We got the bus from Midnight and the cars from Gridlock. That's from Town called Mersey, I think, the egg ship thing. We got the Webstar, you've got, that's from Girl in the Fireplace, the ship from the Lodger, some other sort of spaceship interiors here. From A Christmas Carol, Time of the Doctor, Dr. Dances, there's Jack's ship. is the Temple of Peace, isn't it? Sure it is. Then we get to the Daleks. So you see the Dalek Asylum there. A bit more of an introduction of the Daleks, an idea of how they move, how they work. You can see their evolution of their design here. So these are a lot of designs for the new series. Oh, some horrible redesigns there. We don't like those. But different sort of colour variations, different looks. The Dalek there. And no doubt lots and lots of thought went into designing the Daleks. Some interesting concepts there of the mutant inside it. And the way it would open up to reveal the mutant. Lots and lots of concept work for Dalek, the episode Dalek. Yeah, you can see here, but we're still doing concept work. This is still, this is part of the way, it's for the claw attachment thing, but just so much thought and care went into the new Daleks. Here we go, then you've got stuff from Victory of the Daleks there, that's such a cool image. You've got the Supreme Dalek from the Stolen Earth. Different designs for that. That's almost like a special weapons Dalek, it's very odd, isn't it? And then you get, here they are, the Paradigm Daleks. Here they are. The black sheep of the Dalek history. Although they're coming back, aren't they, in a big finish? They're in the 11th Doctor Chronicles, the final release in that sort of ongoing series with, I think it's called Victory of the Doctor. And it looks like the Paradigms are going to be in that, which is very interesting. It'd be nice to see them back on TV, of course, but hey, you know, we'll take them in audio. Some classic Dalek work here. Davros. Although we can't look at Davros anymore, of course, because he's, you know what, actually, no, I'm not doing that joke, it's in poor taste. I do think, and I mentioned this when I talked about the Children in Need thing, I think that he is an iconic design, and I think it's a very complicated topic of discussion, because he absolutely does feed into a very negative stereotype of people in wheelchairs, people with disabilities, people with disfigurements being villains. But it's such an iconic piece of design that I think without it, you kind of lose a lot of the point of bringing that character back. I don't know. But, you know, you look at that, it is iconic, so. And I was going to make a stupid joke about not looking at it because it's problematic, but I'm better than that, quite frankly. Here we've got some designs for the Dalek Emperor from the Series 1 finale. You've got that's a design for a Dalek ship. Doesn't really look like it, does it? They're much better as saucers. Again, some more concepts for the Dalek Emperor. I think what's interesting, you know, it's weird, I've only just noticed this, but you look at that design for the Dalek Emperor, which is quite close to what we got, and then you look at, if I just go back a couple of pages, some of these designs, you can see how they got to this, right, from these early concepts. I've never worked that out before, I've never noticed that before. Interesting. Again, some more concepts for the revived Davros. And again, I saw a thing someone was talking about, there was a quote from 2008 of Russell T Davies talking about giving Davros a metal hand and saying, well, he has to have a metal hand because it was so clearly shot off in Revelation of the Daleks. And it's like, yeah, but then if you can give him a metal hand, why can't you give him metal legs? But I think it's just such an iconic design that you wouldn't even think to give Davros legs until now, when you go, actually, yeah, he perpetuates this negative stereotype. Some more stuff, the Dalek ship there, the Dalek Asylum, little Dalek paraphernalia, the progenitor, the Dalek Eye from Asylum of the Daleks. Some more stuff from Asylum of the Daleks, the Dalek Parliament here. If I could figure out how to get my camera to be like on top, like looking down, I would do that, but I'm not very clever, so. You got this thing from Day of the Doctor, Time of the Doctor. I never understood the point of this thing. I don't get it. I think it's silly, quite frankly. The Genesis out there. Some Dalek ship concepts with different colours from the Stolen Earth. That's from Into the Dalek. That's the Dalek Prime Minister in Into the Dalek. This set, that they do a weird thing with like force perspective in this, don't they? Yeah. So it says here, this concept by Chris J. Lees shows the bridge of the Dalek ship. It was decided that this set would be a model which was built to the same scale as the radio-controlled Dalek toys produced by Character Options to maximise use of the radio-controlled Daleks. A model corridor set was also built to the same scale. Yeah, so all the Daleks in these scenes in Into the Dalek are not full props, they're toys. And once you know that, you can sort of see it, but it works in, you don't think about it. Silver and steel. So Cybermen here. This is from Closing Time, isn't it? So you see here the evolution of the Cybermen's design and cyber ships. This I think is still the best Cyberman design, and some of that is undoubtedly my nostalgia, because these were my first Cybermen, but I just think the design stands up, I do think it holds up. It's dated a little bit, but no more so than any of the other designs. And I think they've lasted so long for a reason, not just because they had the costumes to hand, but also because they're good. It's a good design. But some of the designs for what the Cybermen could have been are very strange. If you've never seen some of these designs, they're very, very odd. Different, very weird designs, very strange. Got some other designs here for the Cyber Controller. Yeah, this is from Closing Time, I thought so. Again, some other alternate designs. I think that's a cool face design. I think that's an interesting design. I don't much care for this design. Or that I think is too. I don't think that really fits. But again, you look at some of the possibilities for how the Cybermen could have looked. I think that's very cool and very creepy with the eyes there. That's really creepy. I like that. You got this design for the Cyber King, which I think always looks a bit dopey because you've got Miss Harkin in his mouth, but it looks like a big tongue. So I look at this image and it looks like he's going. Is that just me? Maybe that's just me. Again, look at that. That is nightmare fuel for kids. That's far too creepy. this stuff is from the next Doctor, I think. Yeah. And then other like robots and stuff. So you got the bus conductor from The Greatest Show in the Galaxy. Some of the classic robots. You got a Quark, you got a Vogue robot, you got the K1 robot. Some really classic designs. K9, of course. Of course, K9. Oh, good boy. Lots of different designs here for K9. And then other robotic things. You got Max Capricorn, you got little robotic paraphernalia. You've got Gadget there from the Wars of Mars. You got Spider Robot looking a lot more like one of the aliens from War of the Worlds. In that image, is that just me? I know they're tripods. They've got 3 legs instead of 4, but you get what I mean, right? You got some Skervox splits and designs there. This is from a town called Mercy, I think. It only appears very briefly there. Some of the robot faces, Robot Santas, Robot Knights, Smilers. You got the half-face man from Deep Breath. The Art of War, so you come to Sontarans now. Some concepts for Sontaran ships and stuff there. Different Sontaran designs. My favourite Sontaran design is the new one from Flux with Jodie Whittaker. I think it's the perfect amalgamation of the original designs with new materials and new sensibilities in regards to design. And I think it works fantastically. I think the Sontarans look brilliant, and I really hope if we're going to see them in the show again anytime soon, or whenever we next see them, I hope they maintain that design, because there's no reason to change it, and it's fantastic. So just keep it, I say. But you can see here some of you. These are some designs from the Sontaran stratagem here. So there was at one point a desire to, or a consideration to keep them much more in line with the traditional designs. I believe the main reason they changed the design so much and they made them blue was so that a general audience member would not confuse them with Judoon. I mean, especially when you look at this, I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't think that really works at all. But yeah, I think they were a little bit concerned that some more casual viewers would think that they were just Judoon again. So they changed them, they made them a different colour, and it's a very different design to differentiate them visually from the Judoon, who had sort of already taken the black armoured design from the Sontarans. But of course now, the Sontarans are back in their original silver and black, and we've got the Judoon as well. I think putting more of the silver armouring on, not to keep gushing about the new designs, but I think that does, it kind of, you get more of the silver, which the Judoon don't have, and also I think the material underneath is a really interesting, almost dirty brown, kind of, it feels very earthy, that material. So I think they've managed to do a good job of differentiating them as well, while keeping the original design. For me, it's just much more successful than the 2008, the blue design, which I don't hate, but I think once Now we've seen something that is a lot closer to the original design. It's like, oh yeah, well, we could have had this the whole time. I don't know, maybe I'm being flippant. You can see here some of the Sontaran things, Sontaran guns, Sontaran ships, Sontaran symbols. And then we're getting to other, this might be like weaponry and stuff. So you see here that's from, I don't know what gun that is. Is it from the Pirate Planet? I don't know. But yeah, oh yeah, so this is other like guns and weaponry and stuff. Like Cyberman guns, River Song guns, and that's from the Impossible Planet. Sorry, that's the taser from Cold Blood. That's Adelaide's pistol from Wars of Mars. That's from Gridlock. Yeah, lots of tiny little pistols. Bowser River Song's gun. That's List 10. Captain Jack's the Squareness gun. Why does River have so many guns? Is that River Song's gun? Yeah, it is. Oh, that's an original design, and that's closer to what we got. And that's from Dark Nightmare in Silver, who even cares? Yeah, just lots of other different guns. I'm not going to explain them all to you. You can see what they are, can you? There's another Nightmare in Silver gun. These are from, what the hell are these from? Is that from Mummy on the Orient Express? Dinosaurs on a spaceship there. But stuff like that, like this gun from not Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. This is from Mummy on the Orient Express. It's like, you're gonna see that for like 2 seconds on screen maybe, and it's gonna be in someone's hand, and all the design work that goes into just as proper small and as simple as that, and as briefly seen as that. It's so impressive to me how much work goes into the design of these things. Some more guns there. Dalek guns. That's from Impossible Planet. Satan bit, there it is. I knew it'd be in here somewhere. The Jadoon guns. We brushed past them, but I've got an interesting fact about the Jadoon guns is that, yeah, and it says it here, the prop for the Jadoon gun was actually adapted from a game's controller handset. Peter McKinstry worked from the handset to create this concept design for the gun itself. He also designed the holster which the Jadoon gun would fit into. So if you look here, I'll just try and move my brew out of the way. If you look here, you can see, minor glare, that's your handset, your game's handset, and that's how the gun builds around it, basically. And you don't look at the Jadoon gun and think, oh, it's a game's handset, but it is. Where were you still looking at weapons and stuff? Yeah, got some Carrionite stuff. That's from Rebel Flesh, isn't it? Yeah. Sycorax weapons, I think, yeah. No, what's this? Number 3, what is that? Oh, it's a Future Kind. At the top here, this, like, chain. Future Kind weapon. You got some other guns here. A menagerie of monsters. So, I assume it's going to be Silurians initially, and then other monsters. Silurians and Sea Devils, of course. Oh, we don't get to see designs for the new Sea Devils. I wonder how much they considered updating the Sea Devil design, because of course the Silurians look very, very different in the new series. But the Sea Devils don't. They look very similar. So I wonder if there was any consideration or any experimentation with changing the design of the Sea Devils for the new series, for the new Legend of the Sea Devils. That'd be interesting. Have you heard as well they're supposedly doing a Sea Devil spin-off? Seems very odd to me. So yeah, this is very interesting. You have some initial concepts for Silurians for the Hungry Earth that strayed a lot closer. And I think initially they were gonna, to the original designs, I think originally they were going to try and make them a lot more like the original designs, something like this, but they realised that for the character work they wanted to do and for the dialogue sequences, they needed something that would show the performance a lot more, which is how we end up with this sort of prosthetic design. Not sure about this weird armour stuff here. That doesn't work for them at all. I really like the almost sort of, I want to say Celtic, but I feel like I'm making that up. Yeah, I knew I hadn't entirely made up. This armour, this concept of the Silurian armour displays a more Celtic influence to the armour and helmet. That is this one here, which obviously is not what we got, but it's kind of Celtic. It's in the same vein of the design we got. And you see there's Silurian tech and Silurian guns there. But yeah, they were originally looking at making them a lot closer to the original design. Decided not to, and I think the compromise they sort of came to was with the guns and the sort of faceplate mask, which is intended to look more like the Sea Devils. And obviously the guns take a lot from the Sea Devil guns, so they still feel connected to their original series appearances in a way, but they're updated. I would like to see if there's a way. I'd love to see a story concept I have is like a Planet of the Silurian story, where we go back in time to when Earth was populated by Silurians, and I'd love to see a design that kind of gets halfway between the original design and the new design. I'd love to see the two sort of fused together, because I like both, but they feel a bit too different from each other for me. But I think that would be cool, and it's weird that has the show ever done a Silurian Earth story, even in like expanded media. I don't know that there's not any examples I'm familiar with anyway. Maybe I'm just ignorant and stupid, who knows. This is the Silurian city concept for the Silurian city. And then yeah, you've got some more concepts for the Silurian city. That one is very much more, these are much more like cities. That looks like the poster for Metropolis. But I like this design. And then yeah, you got your Silurian architecture and the hibernation pods and all this stuff. This is from Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. These concepts, of course, still Silurian things. That's from Cold Blood. And then some of the aliens and stuff. Here we have the Zarbi, good old Zarbi from from the web planet blipping away. Got some designs there for dead traps, and that is. What is that? The original design maquette for the Haemovores, sculpted by the Visual Effects Department under the supervision of designer Graham Brown for the 1989 story The Curse of Fenric. That's very interesting because they do not look like that at all. That looks a lot more like the Maya, is it? Who look like that? Yeah, that's what the Haemovores end up looking like. Ultimately, the production team felt that the initial Haemovore design was too extreme and went with a more humanoid design from costume designer Ken Drew. You've got the Ood there. I love the Ood design. Fantastic. And the great thing about the Ood is that it's just a head. When they were going to do the Impossible Planet, they were really strapped for cash, and at one point the Ood were going to be the Slitheen because they didn't have any money to make new monsters, and they eventually said, okay, we can do like 5-6 heads, and that's all we can do, which is why they're in like full suits and they wear gloves, because they're just the heads, the prosthetic heads. But they're fantastic designs. I love the Ood. Got some werewolf concepts. That looks very, that's kind of, I don't know, almost sultry. Does that make me seem like a furry? I'm going to move on. That's from the spider germ things from Kill the Moon. We've got some Ood handcuff concepts. What the hell is that? Is that Krillitane? It's a Ragnos Queen, I think. Some of these designs are absolutely bonkers. You've got the Grafeus there, and that's also a Grafeus design, but it's much more. And that's very interesting, but excuse me, I'm not sure whether or not it would have worked in practice. You got some Pyroval design. Is it just that looks like a Ben 10 monster? Is that just me? Maybe that's just me. Prisoner Zero here. I think that's a Star Whale. Yeah, you got a Stingray from Planet of the Dead. Some, excuse me. You got some. Again, these are more Ood concepts. Which are very, very odd. I prefer the design we got. I think, even though it's a lot simpler, it's a lot more striking. You've got the Mogs of Balloon there. You've got, again, a very sultry little naked Dalek set. I need to stop. This is it's coming up weird. That is, I do feel like he's looking into my soul, though. In that photo, you got Cassandra there and a Carrionite. The face of Bo. Some Sycorax designs, some Slitheen designs, some cat people designs. Here we are, tools and devices, sonic screwdrivers. Lots of pictures of the Doctor with the Sonic gear. Lots of designs here for the original Sonic screwdriver from 2005. Not the original, you know what I mean. We've got River Song Sonic designs. You've got the laser screwdriver. You've got the destroyed one from the 11th hour. then loads and loads of new designs, possible designs for the 11th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver. Different when it's broken up in A Christmas Carol. You can see this constant idea of it being sort of extendable, and stuff like that. Are we going to see some more concepts for little gadgets and stuff here? Maybe. Oh yeah, okay, so you got like vortex manipulator here. This is from the girl in the fireplace. You've got helmets and gizmos and Richard Hardy created this concept of the Planet Smasher bomb. It was scripted to have flashing LED lighting and included a glass panel on the front to show the interior circuitry. That, again, something I've only just clocked. That is a very, very similar design, and I'm going to assume intentionally to the bomb in Earthshock, right? The bomb in Earthshock looks like that. I'm sure it does. But that makes sense, they're both Cyberman stories, aren't they? Oh yeah, these things. These were winners of Blue Peter competitions. And they all made Sonic devices, didn't they? That were barely used at all. Got some stuff. What the hell's that? What's this? The projector that was used to show Kazran his power. Oh, okay. Sure, this is from A Christmas Carol. This is from Rebel Flesh. Of course, what the people stand in to create gangers of themselves. Some other sort of Rebel Flesh, almost people concepts. This image of Matt Smith, this promo image, shows up a lot in concept art as a scale thing. It's like, well, this is the scale it's going to be, and to use it, we're going to have this photo of Matt Smith just in like a black t-shirt and suit jacket. You got the Lazarus machine, you got this the Pandorica concepts, and again another girl in the fireplace, I think, concept there. What on earth? These are all weird Series 8 designs. So that's a wheelchair for Mummy on the Orient Express for that old woman, I think. That's a communicator on Miss Delphox's desk in her office from Time Heist. What? Okay. That's a remote control for the Sheriff of Nottingham from Robot of Sherwood, if you say so. And that is from 3W. The Thing. Yeah, from Dark Water. I cannot recall a single one of these designs in the episode. That looks like Sanctuary basic stuff, yeah. Lots of keypads and... What is that? Is that like a... No, you know what? I'm better than that. I'm not going to say it. Your Missy's device there. Some other concepts, wire concepts. You got some Bluetooth headphone stuff from... Oh no, that's I was going to say that was from Rise of the Cybermen. That's the steampunk ones from Next Doctor. Yeah, what's that? Oh, that's a headpiece. Again, more technology. You've got a shape scanner. You've got Margaret Sulling's surfboard thing. Some other guns and Sonic devices in the diary. This is from... Oh sorry, that's from Vincent the Doctor, but this is from Partners in Crime. It's a thing he's holding at the start that he's wandering about trying to find adipose with, I think. Again, some more. That's his machine that goes ding from Day of the Doctor. These are things from Blink. This is his little communicator thing over here from A Christmas Carol. This backpack from The Caretaker. The 2 discs from Flatline. Apparently that's from Day of the Moon, but I can't recall what it is. That's the thing from the Lodger, the Lamastine scanner that's just made out of stuff. And here we are, other times, other worlds. So this is Arcadia, I think. It's on Gallifrey. Yeah, so it's going to be mostly looking at Gallifrey. Different designs of Gallifrey from across the series, of course. And then you've got Arcadia there, you've got the War Room. These are all from Day of the Doctor. You've got this big, I mean, that's beautiful, isn't it? From the Sound of Drums. The Citadel there, that is a beautiful, beautiful concept. Let's just get in a bit closer. And you can see you've got a Time Lord there. And a bit closer on here. I mean, that is gorgeous. Again, more Gallifrey stuff. A lot from, well, these two are from Day of the Doctor, and then this is End of Time. Another big Day of the Doctor piece there. And then you've got Gallifreyan tech, you've got the Fobwatch, you've got Gallifreyan language, you've got the Master's Ring there. You've got Gallifreyan tables and the Moment. With a silhouette of Matt Smith for scale. You've got Gallifreyan weapons, guns and pistols and whatever that is. You've got Gallifreyan weapons, like artillery turrets and stuff from Day of the Doctor. And then we go to some other places. So this is Skaro, the program's first alien world. Skaro, as visualised by set designer Raymond Cusick for the Daleks. And then this is Peladon, the watercolour design of this citadel on the planet Peladon. Got some other designs here. We got some, that's Brain of Morbius, that's Planet of Evil, I think. Oh, that's Arani Citadel from Simon Arani. You got the Greatest Show in the Galaxy, the Psychic Circus there. Some other photos. This is a concept for the Shakespeare Code with the TARDIS sign on the wrong door. Which is a fun little fact for you. This design of house we associate with Tudor times, right? Which of course Shakespeare, you got Queen Elizabeth, so Tudor times, or Elizabethan, so it's just after Tudor times, I suppose. But we associate this style of building with the white and the black as being Tudor in design, but it's not. It's actually Victorian, if I'm not mistaken. And so everyone thinks that this is Tudor design, but it's not. So in reality, if you were to go back to Elizabethan times to the times of Shakespeare, I don't think you would see buildings that look like this, because this design had not been developed, and it wouldn't be developed until the Victorian era, I believe. Which is a little fact I was told a couple of years ago now. I was at like a National Trust place and learnt that, and it's a surprising little thing because we so frequently associate this design with Tudor times, but it's nothing to do with them at all. As far as I'm aware, I might be wrong, but I don't think we've got some Pompeii designs there and different designs for the House Goths. Got designs of, I was going to say Hooverville, this is the Roman camp in the Pandora opens. You got the telescope from Tooth and Claw. You got some designs from a town called Mercy. Again, some more Pompeii stuff, and you've also got this is from Robot of Sherwood. Here we are, this is Hooverville. Lots of designs of Hooverville. I remember in high school once, one of our history teachers we were doing about the Great Depression in America in the 20th century, and she put on Daleks in Manhattan because of its depiction of Hooverville, and she thought that it was good. I think she liked the show anyway, but she really appreciated the way it showed Hooverville, and she thought it was a good depiction of it. Evidently good enough to show a class full of school children, and then a Dalek showed up, and one of my classmates said, "What the hell's that?" And we all looked at him like, "How do you not know what a Dalek is?" I'll let him off, he was Polish. This is Sweetville from the Crimson Horror, and you've got, oh no, these are all Crimson Horror concepts. Such a weird story, the Crimson Horror. And I'll tell you what, the novelisation is also just as weird, because it spends half its time on a different story. You've got some, that is the Impossible Planet from the Impossible Planet crop tour. You've got designs for the Shadow Proclamation there. Hang on, here we go, hang on. Sean Williams created this concept of the Dalek planet Skaro, which is this one here, showing a dark and unpleasant place with no sign of life. But that is from the Stolen Earth. So is that from like an earlier draft when there were scenes on Skaro? I think there might have been in an early draft and they got cut out. And evidently that's what that's from. And then that is Demon's Run, I think. Yeah, from A Good Man Goes to War. Got some more. This is again Sanctuary Base 6 from The Impossible Planet. You've got again Sanctuary Base 6, lots of Sanctuary Base 6 designs. And then this is from Utopia. You've got some designs from Planet of the Ood there for the Ood Operations Headquarters. You've got some other designs here. You've got the Hedwig's World from Nightmare in Silver. Got some Beast Below designs, which I think are really funny, like this Rover's Return design. That's absolutely hilarious. And also, if they'd have done that and put that in, does that canonise dimensions in time? It's just a weird design. And this, I think, is a really fun little a way of getting in almost a London landmark without getting in a London landmark, you know what I mean? Because you can't put like Big Ben and Falls Cathedral in Starship UK because it's all indoors. But you can put that stuff, so. These are all designs of the pit and the beast from the Satan pit. Designs of New Earth. And that's for the girl who waited, apparently. I think these designs are interesting, but I have such nostalgia for the design of the New Earth Hospital and the design of New Earth in general. I really don't much care for that episode, but I have a massive nostalgia for the visuals of it. So much so, there was a National Trust magazine that released. I think they have a magazine that releases anyway, monthly or whatever, you know. But there was an issue that released about a month or two ago, probably, which had the TARDIS on the front of it, and instantly I could go, "That's New Earth," even though it was not. Obviously, it didn't have the visual effects in the background. And it was a lot less saturated. One thing you notice about New Earth is that, yeah, you've got all the futuristic buildings and the flying cars, but also the colours are really saturated. The greens are really green and the blues are really blue. And that's very deliberate. But you can look at a photo just of the TARDIS on that location without all those enhancements. And it's just the TARDIS on a hill. And I could go, that is New Earth. It's so iconic in my head. It's a shame the episode is a bit naff, but yeah, I think that might be the end of the book now. It's about the authors here, but it is not quite the end because it also includes this thing, which has some art cards. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and get these out and show them to you. There we go, if I can do. And we'll go through these. So first of all, you've got a Cyberman by Matt Savage from Rise of the Cybermen. I think this is a really evocative design. I think it's really cool. I understand why it didn't work and why they didn't go for this in practice, because it's a bit too skinny and a bit too mechanical, and there's a lot of lights on it. It'd be a lot of electronic work on this, but I think it's such a cool design. Then you have the Titanic in space, of course, from Voyage of the Damned by Peter McKinstry. You got some Fopwatch designs from Human Nature by Peter McKinstry. You've got the Time Lord Capital on Gallifrey, just slightly different image to the one we looked at earlier, but again by Peter McKinstry. That's such a cool image. I think I prefer the one in the book, but this is also very cool. You got some Supreme Dalek concepts by Peter McKinstry. The Fall of Arcadia from the Day of the Doctor is by Chris J. Lees. You see you've got Daleks there coming in from the sky and the city there. Edwin Bracewell's Ironside Blueprint by Peter McKinstry for Victory of the Daleks, which is such a cool... That's a cool piece of artwork, isn't it? That's the cool thing about Victory of the Daleks. It's not a good episode, but the visuals are so cool. I would have loved to have got one of those to Victory or whatever they were, those like propaganda posters with the Daleks, even though they don't make any sense because they're meant to be secret, but it's just such a cool image. The TARDIS in siege mode from Flatline. Just such a cool can see the different symbols on each side of the C. Is that what they are? I don't think it is actually, is it? I don't know. It's very complicated, very complex. By Chris J. Lees, again that one. Here we are, very basic but very, very important. It's the TARDIS by Stephen Nicholas for Rose, just to get the exact dimensions of the box from all different sides. The exact measurements in millimeters here. Yeah, a very, very important thing. Gallifreyan War Maps for the Day of the Doctor by Chris J. Lees there. You got the 11th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver by Dan Walker. Lots of different concepts here for the Sonic. Very interesting. The 11th Doctor's TARDIS for the Snowman is by Richard Hardy, which we saw a little bit earlier in the book, but there it is as well. Arcadia, again by Richard Hardy. This is for the Day of the Doctor. I don't think we saw too much of Arcadia, did we, in the actual special, but it's cool to get so much concept art for it. The War Room by Richard Hardy for the Day of the Doctor. And the final one, and you can tell that this is about 2014-2015, Zygon Caves by Chris J. Lees, but apparently it's from an episode called Invasion of the Zygons, which, as we know, doesn't exist. Of course it's the Zygon invasion, but evidently at one point that was not what it was going to be titled. I wonder why they changed it. Maybe because of the two-part format and the naming conventions for the two-parters in Series 9. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to put these back in that folder off camera, I think, because they're a bit of a faff to get out. So yeah, that is this book. Fun little book of concept art. Thank you for taking a look at this book with me. I hope to see you again in the next video. Please do like and comment, and let me know what you think of this book. What was your favourite bit of art in here? And subscribe if you haven't done already. And yeah, I will see you all in the next video. Thank you very much, and goodbye.